come up, gotta watch, stay at my nose. Long nights, just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. Shorty wanna me cousin wearing gold. I came up and made it happen, now it's by the stove. Big inside this case is once. Do me dirty, I'ma find you, lay your out on the flow. 19 with a I got rich by myself. Rather do this alone, I wasn't asking for no help. They keep asking how I'm winning with the card that I was dealt. Boy, I work hard for the seat and I ain't buckling my belt. Call my brother on the phone, he said, broski, you a star. I said, brother, hold it down, soon we'll all be living large. And it's crazy how last year was on my garage. Now I'm in a good position for this life, can't sabotage. I ain't folding under pressure, I ain't switching for no. I ain't talking to no cop and I ain't telling on my bros. Ain't no but don't push me, fingers itching on that. Plotting on my come up, gotta watch, stay at my nose. Long nights, just to hit the studio. Now I'm eating steak and shrimp, I ain't eating sloppy Joe. Looking to the mirror, flexing now and in his glow. Bust off like a welcome to the rodeo. I got tattoos on my face, I use that as motivation. I can never get a job, so for my dream, I'm dedicated.
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Straight ahead, the NFL's active leader in passing yards, Drew Brees, and the New Orleans Saints do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, much appreciated, Coach, as we welcome all of you to our exclusive coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. A few moments ago, it was Desmond Trufant of the Falcons making their way out of the tunnel to the delight of this sold-out crowd as his guys get set to do battle with the New Orleans Saints. Hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin along with Charles Davis. And, Charles, we take a look at this Falcons team as they enter play. It's been a great start to the season, back-to-back wins to begin the campaign.
Yeah, you don't want to get too excited. There's still a lot of season to go, but they've come out playing good fundamental football, and that might carry them a long way.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Saints, they come in at an early crossroads here, facing a tough opponent on the road where a loss would make them 0-3.
And when you start that way, doubts really start to creep into a locker room, and guys start to battle each other instead of worrying about winning games.
It's an Indian summer afternoon. Perfect conditions for football, and off we go on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the number 1 overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Matty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some, they threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Looking middle, and that's complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Ryan on 1st down. Connects with Sanu right side. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
They completed the screen on the perimeter, but boy, that was textbook defense. Exactly as you're taught to play against a wide receiver screen, and they snuffed it out for a loss of yardage.
Second and 12 after the first down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a third and about 7 left. And here are the Falcon offensive starters.
4 straight seasons of 1,000 yards for Julio Jones as wide receiver. One of the strongest receivers in the league. Runs over defensive backs, but also thinks his way through the game. Really knows how to collaborate with his quarterback, Matt Ryan.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From the shotgun, Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And is that Jones, the one slow to get up? Yes, Julio's still down right now. Well, he gets attended to. We'll step aside. So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. The numbers for Freeman a week ago. The hat trick +1, 4 trips to the end zone with his legs.
And, partner, you know how all the guys do when they do that little symbol now about eating, right? Keep feeding me, feeding me. They just kept feeding him, and next thing you know, he kept getting in the end zone.
Off the play fake to Freeman. It's Ryan. He's going to go up top for the... And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. And the QB rating right now, sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive, and it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. But I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right. That's
mark.
the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Bryant's extra point up and good, and it's now a 7-0 game. That time a 6-play drive, and the Falcons score to cap it off. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They'll be led out by their veteran quarterback, the former Purdue Boilermaker. It's Drew Brees.
And frankly, this is the type of game that a great quarterback relishes, because 0-2 on the road, everything's against him and his team. No one can expect them to win. Sometimes you band together real tight in that situation, and if he plays really well, they've got a chance to get that done.
So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Brees. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Vic Beasley in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
And so much for that great field position to start the game. Now they're way behind the sticks. Can't wait to see what their second down call is going to look like now.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on second down. From the gun, it's Brees. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Cameron Meredith, the intended target. And now it's 3rd down. And a look now at the offense for New Orleans.
And we'll see the second half of their dynamic duo in the backfield, and that's Alvin Kamara, who in 2017, the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. How about this? Over 1,500 total yards and 13 total touchdowns in a debut performance. Expect more of the same and probably a little bit extra.
On 3rd and long, it's Brees. And Gibbs got it. He's at the 40. 20. And he takes this thing way down into Atlanta territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 71 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Here we go.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. On 1st and 10, here's Brees. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. Shotgun now for Brees. And it's caught. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. Fielded about a yard deep. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. 34 yards there and a first down. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. Here's Sanu on the catch. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue. You know, he's already thrown for more yardage in this first quarter than he did all of last week.
And I could be snarky here and say, well, he didn't throw for a lot of yards last week, but the bottom line is he put in a great week of practice and really came out ready to go in this one.
And we will not see another play as time has run out on this first quarter. 7-all is the score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a 1st down. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And now running right through it. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons are in for 6.
Well, without a doubt, all credit's got to go to the runner. Found his way into the end zone, but the defensive guys just not wrapping up well when they try to tackle him.
And that's the thing. You've got to wrap up. A lot of times these days you see guys, they just want to go as hard as they can and throw their body at somebody. That's not old school football, though.
No, old school football is fundamentals. Wrapping up, locking your hands, and trying to get him on the ground.
Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that makes the score 14-7. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends in a touchdown run from Devontae Freeman. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters.
Now, loose football. The ball comes out, and the Falcons say they have it. They do. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
And back onto the field now comes Devontae Freeman. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally, you run to set up the pass. Here, it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Hey, let's go.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. It's caught over the middle, Hooper. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up first and goal.
Well, he does have one touchdown in the game already, and while this one won't go for 6, it's enough to get him first and goal, but you and I both know he's going to be a little upset he didn't cross the goal line for a second time in this one.
Might want the ball here on the next play.
Let's go.
They'll run here with Freeman. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons will extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Bryant's extra point up and good, and it's now 21-7. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
You know, they're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. On second down, here's Breeze. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. The 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints are able to strike quickly for 6. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Bryant will bring the Falcons up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and turn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Freeman again, a first down carry. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And now running right through it. Into the secondary again. And finally taken down at the 30-yard line. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
So in Saints territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. We're back to Atlanta right after this timeout. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
Get up!
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Demario Davis in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards.
So this has been a lot like a tennis match, hasn't it? Back and forth. Both of these offenses having their way so far. So maybe the question isn't who's going to score the most points in this game. Maybe it's who's going to get some stops.
Yeah, absolutely. And that sack, finally a first step in the right direction for a stop. Caught by Sanu. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And finding the tight end, Hooper. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. So a field goal try here on 4th down as the Falcons call on Matt Bryant. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And Bryant's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
Bryant now, after hitting the field goal, gets set to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here. It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They try to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock Dalvin away and bring up 2nd down.
And prior to this 3rd and 2 play, we're going to get a timeout call as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And that's complete. It's Watson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. And a gain there of 11 yards. Now Breeze again. His throw incomplete. Solid coverage on the play by Devondre Campbell.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Breeze will try again on second down. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And it's third down. Before the game, they were running the route tree about as efficiently and effectively as we could have possibly imagined, but sometimes the passes just go awry.
Yeah, let's face it. When you're running the route tree in pregame, you don't have defenders breathing down your neck. You don't have defensive backs making plays on the football. Hard to replicate the intensity of the game in pregame.
Breeze on the hook up to Thomas for the New Orleans first. Breeze now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's 1st and 10. So we are at halftime here in Atlanta with the Falcons out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks. And welcome in everybody to our EA Sports halftime report. Time for a look around the NFL here in week 3 of the new year. We'll begin at Bank of America Stadium. Cincinnati in town to take on Carolina. And they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. Next, let's get over to Baltimore to check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they've got the lead over the visiting Denver Broncos. Lamar Jackson has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's check in at our nation's capital. See what's happening with the Redskins at home at FedEx Field. And they trail that one over the visiting Green Bay Packers. Aaron Jones has a touchdown on the ground. Meanwhile, in our game, no shortage of offense as each team has been able to move the ball effectively. Will the defenses show up in the second half? To find out, we give it back to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a really, I'm doing it though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Breeze on the draw, gives to Kamara. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. Alvin Kamara really settling into the league in his second season. And, of course, he came out of Tennessee, but not a lot of people remember he started at Alabama.
He did and got caught in that big mix of running backs at Bama. And they like those bigger, thicker runners, those guys who can break down defenses through the middle. Alvin Kamara ended up leaving Alabama, going to a junior college for a while. I believe he went to Hutchinson Junior College before matriculating at Tennessee and finding his way to the NFL, where he is now a star.
On first down, Breeze over the middle, and it's incomplete. Well, 6-round picks, they don't normally step in and start on day one, that's for sure. But over the years, we've had some big names from that spot.
And obviously, Tom Brady, the biggest name of all, is a 6th-rounder, but there have been others. Antonio Brown, who's played some of the best receiver in the game. Alfred Morris. And I can tell you a quick one on Alfred Morris. When he came out of college and had the big rookie year, I went back to a lot of my scouting buddies and took my book with me and said, okay, what did you guys have him listed coming out of school? I couldn't find anyone who had better than a 6th-round grade on him. Most had 7th round and a good number undrafted free agent, so you never know what you're going to get.
And you take a look at this draft class from a season ago, really it grades out as a pretty darn good class.
So you have to give a lot of credit to the entire scouting organization. General manager, personnel.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Grady Jarrett with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Ben Watson was the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here's Breeze to throw. There he goes left side. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. 3rd down, passing down. They throw the extra defensive back in there for a nickel package, and it worked out.
And it's not anything that you would think is just great strategy. It's just that when you have 5 defensive backs on the field and an obvious passing down, it's a lot tougher to complete a pass. And on that play, they completed it just to the wrong team, and it cost them 6 points.
Here's Bryant for the extra point. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone, and no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. So Breeze going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Breeze to try again after the pick 6. And his throw is incomplete. Ben Watson was the intended target, the tight end. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Breeze. Finds his man, Watson, over the middle. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. And that is incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A terrific return there. 27 yards all told. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on.
And he will go down outside of the pocket for a sack. Tried to get away, but could not. Cameron Jordan in there to sack him for a loss of 6. Jordan coming off a Pro Bowl campaign in 2017. 3rd time he's had that honor.
And he continues to play better and better as his career extends. Think about it this way. 4th in the league last year in sacks with 13. Helped the New Orleans Saints defense improve overall and helped lead them to the playoffs. And now
and nothing but daylight ahead. A special moment for Calvin Ridley, the first touchdown catch of his NFL career. And the Falcons push further out in front. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
Bryant's extra point up and good. And the lead is now 24. The long touchdown pass gets him 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. Now we'll see what Michael Thomas and the rest of the offense has in store here. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well. But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now Kamara. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. That second down run a big help as 7 yards leaves him with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Bree's going to throw. And a loose football. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
And now a 10th carry for Freeman. Devontae Freeman. They're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 11 on the year. And the Falcons capitalize on the fumble and turn it into 6. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. Back now here on EA Sports. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. Now here's Bryant to kick it away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33.
Ready. 90.
Now Breeze throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. That's Watson. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
He hits his target, left side, Watson. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Ready. You ready?
Throwing on 1st down is Breeze. And his throw here's incomplete. Looking to go back to Thomas again. And it's 2nd down.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Breeze again here on 2nd and 10. He's got a man open. It's Cameron Meredith. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 more yards there, and this methodical drive continues.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Breeze now on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Watson. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Ready. Yellow lady.
Breeze to throw again. It's brought in right side by Ginn. And they'll get this down to the 10. Breeze to another longtime vet, Ginn, for the New Orleans first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target.
And somewhat of a measure of revenge as he's in for the touchdown, but they still trail big time.
He'll take it, but he won't be able to smile about it. Well, if you've got him in your fantasy league, you like his production, his 2nd touchdown of the game. But right now, his team is trailing. Fortunately, he's playing pretty well and trying to keep him in it.
Now, they might need a little more from him here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they continue to call his number. Right now, he needs his defense to step up and give him a chance.
So a nice drive put together there. They go 75 yards in 9 plays. And a good job here by the Falcons. Their hands team able to recover it. Now they're down big here in the 4th. They had to try the onside kick. Can't fault them for the effort at least.
No, you can't at all. And if nothing else, now you've put something that you're trying to practice, right, that you've worked on into a game situation, and now you can go back and dissect it. So if you need it again sometime, maybe you'll find a better way to do it. But, yeah, this game's pretty much done for them.
Now a handoff. It's Freeman. He'll get about 4 here, down to the 43-yard line.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. Again, they'll run with Freeman. Shedding the tackle. Just bowling over tacklers. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes.
Hey, let's go. Four down. Check. 47 right. Right, 47. Let's go.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Falcons, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll have another home date next week as the Cincinnati Bengals come to town. Meanwhile, for New Orleans, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head to MetLife Stadium to take on the New York Giants. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.